In this video, I'm gonna be going over some tricks that will help you fall asleep faster and get better quality sleep. And if you guys wait till the end, I'll even tell you a trick that I've recently started using that has worked within the first night in helping me fall asleep in 10 minutes. For years, I've had trouble falling asleep. And I wouldn't exactly say I'm an insomniac. I've never been diagnosed, so I'm not gonna say I am. But I definitely have had trouble falling asleep. And if you're watching this, I'm sure you guys had trouble falling asleep as well. Until recently, I used to go to bed and I would be on my phone scrolling for hours or being on YouTube, trying to listen to some audio to help me fall asleep. Or even if I do put the phone down, I would be up for hours, staring at the ceiling, trying to close my eyes, shifting in bed over and over again, trying to find a good position, a more comfortable position, flipping my pillow, maybe the colder side will help me fall asleep. But nothing ever really seemed to help me that much, except waiting it out and letting my body fall asleep. And this would take hours at a time for me. And this has been really detrimental to my life because I'd go to sleep so late and wake up that I only get a couple hours of sleep and I'd be tired the entire day. And whether it was when I was in high school and I was falling asleep in class, or now that I'm in college, I'm still falling asleep in class, but also I'd be tired throughout the day, and it just caused so much reduced productivity in my day-to-day life. And it wasn't until recently that I discovered this trick that helped me fall asleep in 10 minutes. Now, sleep is very important. Not only does it help you recharge and not be tired throughout the day, but it's also when your body's recovering. So if you're exercising a lot, you need to get adequate rest in order to make sure you're recovering from those workouts, or else you might even be deteriorating your body, causing you to not recover as well. And if you're exercising and trying to build muscle like me, then this might even cause reduced muscle growth. Not to mention, it's when your brain processes all of the memories that you got throughout the day and take them from short-term memories into long-term memories. And this is also a big part of learning, because you're taking these short-term memories that you got that day and your brain is transitioning it into long-term memories. So this is very important for learning, muscle growth, and just overall health. In fact, there's been a couple times where people have been so sleep deprived that they've died from exhaustion. Literally died from exhaustion. I'm sure we're all getting enough sleep that we're not at this level. If you're at that kind of level where you're not sleeping for days at a time, definitely see a doctor, try to get that fixed. But this is for people who have trouble just falling asleep due to other reasons. One of my favorite quotes about sleep is Arnold's tips for success. He's given this speech a couple times just about how he's been so successful in life. And one of the things he says is, if you don't think you have enough time in the day, and because you need 8 hours of sleep, sleep faster. I used to think that was just a funny joke, but there might be ways to actually sleep faster, quote unquote. Not necessarily you're literally sleeping faster, but getting more quality sleep. Now, I'm gonna be going over a bunch of tips that is gonna help improve your sleep quality and in turn also help you fall asleep faster. My first tip is put all screens away an hour before you go to sleep. Screens today, like our phone, give off blue light. And the thing about blue light is it's very similar to sunlight, the wavelength that sunlight is going at. If you look at the sky, it's a blue sky, so it's blue light coming in at us. Our body actually has an innate reaction to blue light that causes it to be more awake and alert. So if you're using your phone late at night, your body's getting this signal that, oh, I'm getting blue light. That means it's light outside. That means you have to stay awake, you have to stay alert. But if you put your phones away, any kind of screen, TV, laptop, phones, your body will slowly adjust and begin to realize it's not day anymore, it's night. And it's time to start getting ready to go to sleep. And our bodies will start producing the correct chemicals and hormones to help us in that process to fall asleep. My second tip is to get exercise. Just like our body has a reaction to blue light that keeps us awake, our body also has a reaction to exercise. We've been designed through natural selection to move our bodies, whether it be to hunt, to get to a certain place, to get food. And our body pretty much associates getting exercise with getting food. And if we don't exercise, that means we didn't get food. If we don't get food, that means we're not gonna have nutrients for the next day. So our body needs to stay more awake in order to get that food. Now, just make sure you're exercising. It doesn't have to be weightlifting. Just get some kind of exercise throughout your day. Ideally, you wanna get really intense exercise that exhausts your body. My favorite exercise that actually helped me fall asleep the best are leg exercises, doing squats, deadlifts. If any of you guys have done intense leg workouts, you'll know after you get home, your legs are really warm, and if you ever lay down in your bed, it's the most comfortable thing ever. And I know lots of times I've fallen asleep right after coming home from the gym, working out, doing a heavy deadlift day. Not only exercise is gonna help us fall asleep, but it's just generally good for you to get exercise. It's gonna help your body regulate hormones, burn calories, and build muscle. All of these are healthy for our bodies, and it'll also help contribute to us falling asleep at a natural time. Third tip is don't eat 3 to 4 hours before you go to sleep. Our body has this natural rhythm of eating and then digesting it. And if we just go to sleep and don't let our body, while we're awake, digest that food, then not only is it gonna not digest properly, but it'll also cause us to have imbalances with hormones, as well as keep us from falling asleep. A lot of people think when you eat food, your body's restored the calories and that's it. You're done, you're fueled up and ready to go on with the rest of your day. But actually, once you eat your food, your body needs time to digest the food. And not only does that digestion take time, but it also needs calories to burn that food. So you can't just take the food and immediately put the calories in your body. Your body needs to go through the right mechanisms to digest that food properly and properly distribute it throughout the body, which all requires proper calorie burn. And if we're asleep, our body's not trying to burn calories, it's trying to relax and rejuvenate itself. My 5th tip is read fiction before you go to sleep. Now, a lot of people don't read as much today, and the people who do try to, like me, have trouble staying awake while reading, unless it's something I'm really interested in, I'm trying to read. But the thing is, reading fiction is better than nonfiction, because when you're reading nonfiction, the intent is to learn and absorb that information, and your brain is thinking while you're reading that stuff. So if you're reading a self-help book, whether it be the 4-Hour Workweek, you're trying to take that book and apply the knowledge to your own life. If you're reading fiction, it's more of a passive process. You're reading the words and you're getting entertained and sedated by not having to think. You're letting these words fuel your imagination and you're not thinking about much else. Reading fiction is a great way to help you fall asleep because it's calming your mind, and it's also a great replacement for not having your screen an hour before you go to sleep. My 6th tip is to journal before you go to sleep. Any kind of journaling is great. I actually made a video about journaling a while back, so definitely check that out. But lately, I've just been into stream of consciousness journaling. I write about my day, just anything that happened, anything I'm interested in, anything I want to think about. So I'll just write it out, try to fill up a whole page of whatever it is. And by doing this, I'm clearing my mind of these thoughts. I'm processing them and allowing myself to not have to dwell on them anymore. I've already processed them and my mind doesn't need to focus them anymore. It's almost like taking those thoughts that are bouncing around your head and putting them on a piece of paper so they're no longer causing that chaos and just thought process that's keeping you awake at night. Not to mention journaling has a bunch of other benefits, and I talk about that in my other video. My 7th tip is to meditate. Now, it doesn't have to be directly before bed. While this can be beneficial right before bed, just any kind of meditation throughout the day is great. Now, meditation is a way to train your mind in order to allow thoughts to come and go and just pass. No need to dwell on them. Like with journaling, which lets you take your thoughts and put them on a piece of paper, meditation helps train your mind to let these thoughts pass and not dwell on them. When I meditate and I get a thought about something, while this might be hard to do at first and definitely still hard at the level I'm at, you're gonna want, so let's say you have a thought about what you did that day. Instead of dwelling on it, just let the thought pass. Like it's a car, like you're sitting on the side of a road and you're watching the cars pass. There's no need to watch the cars go all the way down the road. Just sit there and just let them pass in front of you. No need to dwell on any of them. And through constant practicing and meditation, you'll get better at this and also transfer to when you're going to sleep and you're trying to ignore these thoughts or let them pass and help you fall asleep faster. My 8th tip is to get as comfortable as possible. Now, this might seem obvious, you're going to bed, you want to be comfortable, but there's some things you could do to improve your comfortability. Now lately what I've been doing is trying to keep my room cool, which has actually been shown if it's slightly below body temperature in your room, that'll help you sleep better and actually higher quality sleep. Alongside that, I've been taking a pillow, putting it between my legs, as well as holding a pillow while I go to sleep. That helps me fall asleep insanely fast. It might be different for you, but that's one thing I've been doing lately that's amazing. And with that, I'd even consider getting a weighted blanket. Now with a weighted blanket, there's contradictory studies saying whether there's actual benefits or if it's just placebo, but a weighted blanket might actually be beneficial for you. And my last tip to help you get better quality sleep is sleep consistently. Having a consistent sleep schedule has been shown to help us not only fall asleep faster because our body's getting used to falling asleep at a specific time, and it'll even help us get into these deeper levels of sleep much faster because your body knows it's coming. Let's say you go to bed at 1 a.m. one night, 10 p.m. the next night, and 3 a.m. the next, your body's gonna be just jumbled around and your body's not gonna get used to when you're falling asleep, and you're gonna get tired at different times and your body's gonna try and make you fall asleep at the time you don't want or keep you awake in times you're trying to fall asleep. So having a consistent sleep schedule, like any other habit, helps us train our body to get ready and immediately fall asleep. And now, finally, the trick that helped me fall asleep in 10 minutes. I recently discovered this trick and I was blown away by how fast it actually worked. Normally with these kind of tricks, it's like, oh, you're gonna have to keep doing it and your body will get used to it and then you'll fall asleep faster. But this trick, first time I used it, fell asleep in 10 minutes. I was blown away. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay in bed, make sure all lights off, make sure all distracting sounds are off, maybe even get a white noise machine, that might help. But then lay down in bed and close your eyes and then meditate for about 3 minutes. Don't worry about the time, don't check it doesn't have to be exact, because if you check your phone or check some time, then it's gonna keep you awake. But then once you've meditated, then think about the last dream you had with as much detail as possible. Whether it was the dream last night or a dream that was 3 months ago. Whatever the closest dream is that you can remember it with as much detail as possible. Try putting yourself there, try remembering the sights, the smells, the sounds, anything that'll help you be more immersed in that dream. Now with dreams, we don't really have a good memory of them and they kind of just drift away over time. But if you try to focus on them, then your brain will actually start to think you're in that dream state and you actually fall asleep. I was blown away by this trick. It worked in the first night I used it, and ever since then I've been doing the trick as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And in this video, I'm gonna be going over some tricks that will help you fall asleep faster and get better quality sleep. And if you guys wait till the end, I'll even tell you a trick that I've recently started using that has worked within the first night in helping me fall asleep in 10 minutes.